Hey, try.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Disconnect, where the reconnection is the dialect. I am Eyebee knowing, and this is my co-host.
Hey, J Know the Sun King, aka Rod Oba, aka Defender of the Diaspora, aka the Libra Lion, aka all that. And we in here, we finna mix it up, and we finna just really tap into some real life subjects.
That's exactly what we about to do.
You know what I mean? We finna get down to earth with it. You know what I mean? I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready, and we have a guest or whatever, and this is the guest from the last show.
Yes.
We got Fife here with us, so he gonna be in this conversation and touching on this topic as well. But first, before we do that, we want to give a shout out to the sponsor.
Shout out to Wildlife Vodka, Lil Ron and all that, man. We appreciate y'all for, the support. This is, we definitely got it. If you're going to drink, though, drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So today we're going to be we're going to touch on mental health, right? Because this is Mental Health Awareness Month. I don't know if y'all know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to be talking about mental health because I think it's very important. A lot of people don't really expound on it, especially coming from the Black community.
Right, I was about to say that.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't really talk about it, not very knowledgeable about it. They don't want to seek help. What is this stigma with the Black community, though?
Right.
Like, why do you think?
Right.
Pride? Yeah. I could say that.
Pride is the devil.
Yeah.
Like J. Cole said, pride is the devil.
I can say that because they don't think nothing wrong.
Right, and like pride, I think, and ego too, intertwined in that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of our people that think they don't need it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad that we talking about it because you can't talk about it enough.
Right.
Even though I'm hearing people talk about it here and there, it's not enough.
Right.
You got to keep pushing that. Keep pushing that.
Right.
Because mental health is a major issue, especially if you really look at the history and the lineage of where we come from as indigenous people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to realize that when they came off them plantations, they didn't come without PTSD.
Right.
You just got through watching your mama get raped. You got to watching your sister get the baby cut out of belly hanging from a tree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You witness your cousins at sex forms. You witness all these different things.
Right.
You think if a soldier on the battlefield gets shot and he don't have PTSD, you don't think that's gonna give him PTSD?
Right. Or even just being in the hood, period.
Right.
Right. Gunshots and stuff like that.
Right.
Even
Constant.
the stuff that we dealing with today. Right.
But to me, that's what molds and creates the hood.
Right.
That mindset.
Right.
Because of that lineage of PTSD.
It is.
You know what I mean? So,
and a lot of us have it.
Right. For example,
a lot of us
let's say, for example, a male who grew up without a father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We knew at an early age the father was separated from the family.
Yeah.
So you see that generational going down, that PTSD, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And mental health. And so they don't know how to handle it mentally. They don't know how to be that father figure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? All they know, now they may have good intentions.
Right.
And then as soon as something happens, as soon as something pops off, they go back to that training, that illegitimate training.
Right,
you know what I mean? When my pops wasn't there, I can't deal with shorty. I gotta go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's why you knew. Okay, so according to Wikipedia, right, they said historically, mental disorders have three major explanations. We have biological, supernatural, and psychological, right? And we were speaking off the air when we was talking about it. And J No wanted to add religiosity, right? Because that could be also a mental disorder, right?
Right.
So we're gonna definitely address that. So first, we're gonna start off with the biological. Let's talk about these genetics or whatever, which you kind of was already expounding on it, where things are passed down genetically through RNA and DNA, different types of traumas. And stuff that's passed down from generation to generation. And there's a lot of things that we just kind of just carry on. But a lot of people, I don't think they realize, because I'm gonna get a little personal. I'm gonna get a little personal with y'all, okay? So I just met my biological father, right? At this big age, right? Never knew this dude. Never met him. Never, ever knew him. But when I tell you, when I did meet him and we did get to talking, I was seeing a lot of myself. A lot of myself. And it's crazy because I didn't grow up knowing him, right? But I was finding a lot of answers about myself just talking to him. We had so much in common, like the way of thinking, the way of and it's like, how does this happen? You know?
Right.
So a lot of things can be passed down through RNA and DNA, which you already know, like even when you're talking about DNA, you know, the DNA is probably going to tell you like what color your eyes are going to be, how tall you're going to be, what color your skin is going to be, or, you know, all these different things. But when you get to talking about like RNA, that's how you pass down traumas. You can also pass down different talents, gifts, and there's things that you could unlock inside your Akashic records.
Right.
And you can open up things from yourself through RNA and DNA. So a lot of things, get passed down. Just speaking biologically, as far as like mental health issues, mental health disorders. It's a couple of families that I grew up in the hood with, and heard somebody say, and I'm not trying to be funny, like, man, the whole family crazy. The whole family throw it out, man. Like they thought like, ooh, she throw it out just like her mom, or whatever. But it is some things that's being passed down. So I did some stuff I want to kind of expound on. What y'all think about that?
I think that's very true. The terms of like the chemicals in the brain and stuff like that, and how their body is, even in the food now, that there's certain foods that they understand that food can affect your mood. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's in that aspect too. Say for example, and some people don't believe that. They be like, no, that ain't you can eat some food and it's gonna make me be like this. Yeah. I'm like, you can take a pill for depression, can't you? You can take a pill for anxiety, right?
Yes.
So that's proof that the food that you're taking and what you're hitting, biologically is rewiring your body. You know what I'm saying? Same way any type of illegal drugs or whatever. Same thing. So I think people that tend to have these biological markups that's like that is that it may be in the diet too. That family eats a lot of certain foods. They might eat a lot of, which is, you know what I mean?
Most definitely. Because you know what? A lot of people think that these animals don't have intelligence. Right. You don't think them animals know they about to die? Them animals know that too. Yeah, they know that. I seen a video where they had a dog, and it was a certain part of the world where they actually eat dogs, right? And when I tell y'all, this dog was shaking so bad, he was so scared. He could hear the other dogs being slaughtered. Same thing with the pigs and stuff, like here and stuff. So these animals, the chemicals and that's going inside of their body around this time, the state of shock, the fear, all these different feelings and emotions that's inside of the flesh of these animals, and then you cook it down and you eat and you wonder why you're suffering with anxiety, depression, some of the things that a lot of people are dealing with, and people don't realize, I don't think people realize how energy works. Right. A lot of people underestimate energy because it's not tangible. It's not something that you can just hold in your hand, but it's real. It's real.
Right. I think too that what you're speaking on, that's kind of going into two realms, the biological and spiritual. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely what you eat, because sometimes they say not sometimes, but when the male, like when you eat like a buck or a male animal, they say that testosterone and stuff like that releases through the body. Is why the food ends up tasting so gamey and stuff like that.
Right.
So there's actually biological proof of what you're saying. As well. You know what I mean? That flows to their body, and that's actually what you ingested and what you eat.
And that's why they got to take out them sweat glands before they cook it. Because I remember I ate a raccoon.
Coon?
Yeah. We was country, right? We was country growing up.
Big money Texas. I forgot you from big money.
We was country, baby. We ate coon, honey. But if you don't take them sweat glands out of that coon, that's going to be the one of the nastiest meals you ever ate, because it does have that wild gamey taste. So that's why a lot of people, they'll take them sweat glands out of there and they'll boil it in like you could boil it in like vinegar to kind of get that wild gamey taste out. You got to go through a lot. But it's still not taking that energy out of it though, right?
Right.
Yeah. So biologically, let's see what we got next. Let's talk about religiosity. Let's talk about religiosity, like the mental disorders that comes with religiosity. This is something we was just talking about before the cameras came on. What y'all got what you got for that?
Well, not a personal story, but somebody else's story that I know, a story of a man that I know. Right. So he ended up he was on trial and so he was doing like fraud and different type of activities and stuff like that or whatever. And basically, like, I was first introduced to that word or that term because the judge told him, because he just kept, doing Jesus, 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 Jesus as a way to get out of him. And so he ended up telling he was suffering from religiosity. So, and I was like, that ain't a term. That ain't a word. That ain't real.
Because when you first said it to me, I was like, he must have said the word wrong. But when I looked it up, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a real
thing. This brother know what he talking to me. Yeah,
it's a real thing. And so you have people that's another that's a psychological disorder.
Right.
That that you believe so much, so endowed into this book. You know, and I know I'm gonna step on some toes on this one.
Yeah, step
but
on.
Man,
I got your back.
Man, book them people toes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. That way. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, we're here to tell the truth and you know, tap into that. So, but yeah, I mean, you see people like in this case, you seen whole nations being slaughtered. Think about the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a strong case of religiosity. You know what I mean?
Right.
People beating on themselves, taking the chain and whipping themselves, believing they need to be chastised and stuff like that.
Yeah, the whole taboo thing.
Right.
We used to watch that on the Travel Channel and stuff like that.
Right. These are all forms of religiosity and stuff like that. Right. Hitler, right. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that, oh, we are the chosen people, so we got to do this. You know what I mean? And so you see that in so many different forms.
Oh man, even the people, you think about the people that were strapping the bombs to their back and
exactly right.
That's crazy.
So that's even in in that sector of religion. We know in that sector of religion, that's another form of religiosity.
Yeah.
So we see that in all these different denominations and all these different religions.
Right.
That over religiosity. And that's another form of mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're willing to take your own life thinking you're doing something for this greater good or greater cause.
Right.
When that book was just an allegory.
Yeah.
As we spoke on the other episode, that book was just a book of allegories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they make you feel like that. Because I can remember when I was younger being in church, it's like you got to lay your life down and all this different stuff or whatever. Because I'm going to talk about something else too, that the mental health that come with religiosity as well. That whole turn the other cheek thing. See, I ain't with all of that.
Oh, we know.
I ain't with all of that. Turn the other cheek.
I heard
you got to forgive people 7 times, what they say, 7 times 10 or 7 times 7, whatever the way, that's what Jesus, this. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not going to sit there. I don't care what title you hold in my life. I don't care if you my sister, my brother. I don't care if you the girl that grew up with me next door. I'm not for that. It's only so much you going to do to me before I, Yeah. Hey,
I be knowing say, try Jesus.
Try Jesus. Don't try me.
Don't try me.
That turned up cheap. But it makes people stay in unhealthy situations.
Right.
It makes people stay in unhealthy situations, unhealthy relationships. It makes people stay there because they feel like they got to keep turn the other cheek, and it just gives this whole stigma of people feel like it's like a woman and a man is together, and she feel like however much pain I can endure for him and to sustain or whatever, that'll prove to him how real I am and how much I love him. I'm not trying to be hopping down the aisle. I don't want to have to do that. You're not gonna damage me and do all these horrible things to me, and I jump through all these fiery hoops just for me to prove to you that my love for you is real. I'm not doing it. And I think that's the insanity that comes with religiosity as well.
I think what it does is make them feel small.
It taught you in the scriptures or whatever to love your slave master when he's doing all those things.
Exactly.
Slaves obey your
look at love
yes.
sometimes. I question love because I'm saying, how can you love?
Yeah. Even when you talking about a God that's gonna send you to the burning pits of hell. Like, and you gonna burn for eternity.
But look, let me interject right quick. So if you physical, flesh, skin, if you in the spirit, how spirit gonna burn? Well, we feel in our physical body.
Right.
I feel this wood.
Right.
That's because I got senses and nerves.
Right.
Sense of touch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how can the spirit light on fire?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. I was scared, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Before I walked away from all of that, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me, y'all, because I'm telling you, it's like everything was a sin. I'm gonna go to hell. I'm gonna go to hell. I'm gonna go to hell. That will give a person anxiety.
Yep.
That'll slip a person. It's like you're not living your life enjoying your life. You're not living your life trying to learn. You're not living your life to try to experience everything that you need to experience on this side of creation. You living your life trying to do things based off, scared of going to hell.
Right.
Right?
Off fear. Fear-based.
Fear.
Fear-mongering. Yeah. Living your life off of fear.
What is heaven and hell?
It's a state of mind. And Luke, what he said.
Harmony, disharmony. Heaven, you in harmony.
Right.
Hell, it's disharmony.
Right.
In Luke 17:24. Yeah, we're going to go to scripture.
Okay.
Luke 17 and 24.
Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead, Reverend Handful.
Well.
Go, Reverend Handful.
Yes, Lord. So Luke 17:24, the disciples asked,
What did they ask?
They said, "What is the kingdom of heaven?"
What is the kingdom of heaven?
And Jesus replied,
And Jesus replied,
"It is not here.
it is not here.
It is not there.
It is not there.
For the kingdom of heaven,
Woo.
the kingdom of heaven is within you."
Yeah.
That's what it say.
Absolutely.
The kingdom of heaven
Absolutely.
is within you.
Absolutely.
As he said, you know, it's a
Absolutely.
state of mind.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. So, okay. So, moving on, let's talk about supernatural. Right? Let's talk about the supernatural. Let's talk about the mental disorders in the supernatural. You know, people being possessed. Do you feel like people are really possessed with the devil? Did you watch the exorcism of Emily Rose or any of the exorcisms for that matter? Do y'all believe these people was actually possessed by evil spirits? What's up?
I ain't gonna lie to you. When it comes to that and possessions, I'm still kind of just on the fence. I'm still kind of just on the sideline watching and observing. While I do believe there are other entities that, you know, walk to and fro in this earth,
Right.
I'm not quite sure that an entity can actually hop into somebody's body
Right.
and take control. But I've had some experiences with some other stuff, like with dolls, and I ain't gonna go into that because it'll be a whole little long spiel.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about it one day. We're going to have to, y'all, do y'all want to hear about it?
Oh, Lord.
Put it in the comments if you want to hear these stories, what Jay know talking about Chucky and them.
Hey, I'm telling you, hey, I grew up in a
I wanna
house.
hear it.
I grew up in a house 7907 Pentel Park, and everything we experienced in that house seemed to be supernatural.
Wow.
Not only did I experience it by myself, I experienced it with my brother.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call myself, you know, you want to say, "Oh man, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, I'm tripping."
Yeah.
But when somebody's standing right next to you,
Yeah.
and they see the exact same
thing.
doggone thing,
Right, right,
I got to counsel like crazy now.
right.
I got to own it now. Like,
Yeah.
no, I did see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did see that. So to say, I feel like I've experienced and seen a lot of supernatural things. I go to say that, you know, I feel like I've seen entities, I've seen it,
Right.
and I've heard it
Yeah.
in sounds and stuff like that. Me
Right.
and my brother be in a room, and we hear sounds like ladies talking
Yeah.
in the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm automatically assuming because it's the ladies, my mama. So we as kids going into a room, "Hey mama, can we go outside and look at where mama at?" Ain't no mama there. You know what I mean? Or we'll hear voices in the living room and stuff like that. Running, I think my pops used to drive trucks and come in late at night. So we think he came in late at night. I get up out the bed to go see him. Ain't nobody in there,
Right.
you know. Or TVs would be on. Pops come out, "I told y'all cut them TVs out. What y'all leaving them TVs on?" And we can swear before anything, but I know I cut this TV out.
Right.
I know I did.
Right.
You know? So needless to say, I believe the supernatural is real.
I believe. Okay, so even saying believe, I'm gonna say I know, right? Because we're in the age of Aquarius, right? We ain't even believe. We ain't believing no more. We in the know,
No,
right?
Yeah. I be knowing, yeah.
Period. Period. Ugh. But you know, when where do your loved ones go when they leave here, right? So even talking about where your loved ones go when they leave here, of course they go to a different realm, right? A different realm, a different dimension. I seen a video recently that was kind of expounding on some of the things that I was already feeling on the inside, and it was talking about the different realms is right here. It's actually right here with us. Like we actually live in, they just in different dimensions, different realms, but every now and then, sometimes if you on a certain frequency, you could tap in. It's kind of like if I'm listening to 97.9, you could be listening to 102.1 at the same time I'm listening to 97.9. But you gonna catch this and I'm gonna catch this. Right? So frequency, when you get to talking about frequency and energies and stations, you know, different stations, it depends on what station that you vibrate
I'm about
on.
to say, how many times have you been listening to a certain station, you singing a song in your head, you cut on the radio, and that song is the exact same song, in the exact same spot.
And it come on, and it comes on. Yeah, so I think that even when we seeing our loved ones or we hearing voices or we seeing things, I think that around that time you may be tapped into different stations, different frequencies of things that's going on around you. Because I'm gonna tell you something. What happened? I'm gonna go ahead and expound on one of my personal stories. Right. This was like maybe like 2 years ago. Right. we was coming from New Orleans and
Nolans.
Nowlands.
Yeah.
And so we was coming from the NFB, right? Shout out to the National Federation of the Blind Association, right? So we was in the NFB and we had some stuff going on. Like the organization was, doing different stuff at the hotels or whatever. But anyway, so we driving back. I was tired. We was partying on Bourbon Street and everything, and trying to do this and trying to do that or whatever. So we driving back, me and my daughter. So we going back towards Texas, right? So she kept saying, "Oh man, I got to use the bathroom. I got to use the bathroom. I got to use the bathroom." Now I don't like stopping. Right, especially in these little weird towns, like in between, here, right? Because stuff get weird, right? So we ended up stopping, and we stopped on like one of them little roads that kind of like veer you all the way off, right? So we pulls up to this gas station, and at this gas station, it looked like it was an abandoned gas station, right? Looked like the pump was one of them pumps where they used to pump it for you, right? Like like it was so outdated and everything, and it was just this one pump here. I looked in the inside of the store. Looked like the store appeared to be closed. Like it was kind of dark. You kind of see it from the outside or whatever. My daughter had to pee so bad, right? She's not paying attention to nothing. When you got to be like, it does something to your brain. Like she just like, soon as I stop, right there by the gas pump, she hops out. Whew, before I can even say it, look like it's kind of close. She hops out. She runs in. I'm trying to go in behind her. I hurry up and cut the car off. I go in behind her. As she's walking in, though, they had a man that walks outside, right? The man walks outside and holds the door for her as she goes in. So I go in behind her. We walk in there, and I'm like, this place looks like it's closed. It don't even look like it's open. Or maybe they just not open and they haven't turned all the lights on yet or whatever. I don't know what the situation could be. So no cashier right here. So we pass through this part right here. Then we go through, it's another part. They have like a ma and pa shop, right? Mm-hmm. Like a little restaurant. It had like red and white checkerboard tablecloths on it. So we go through there, go to the restroom. By the time I get in the restroom, she almost finished. She about to come out, wash her hands. So we wasn't in there long, maybe a couple of seconds, right? She go up in there, use the restroom. I'm in there with her, whatever. She wash her hands or whatever. We come out of there. When we came out of there, we passed back through to that little ma and pa restaurant. Walk back through there, lights on, everything. Everything is on. People in there talking. The lady at the cash register, she got people. They got two white ladies standing over here
just
by the chips. Yeah, and it look up to date, right? It looks up to date. Everything is up to date. And so me and my daughter, so we just looking at each other like, what's up? We get outside, gas pump, people getting gas. They even had an extra additional gas pump over here on this side, right? So, and I'm like, am I tripping? But I could tell I ain't tripping because I could see the way my baby looking at me. She's looking at me, right? At the time she was 16. She was 16. So we looking at each other, and we get in the car, and she say, "Mama, what happened?" I said, "I don't know, baby girl. Let's go. Let's just crank that boy up." Got on that road. I said, "Look, we ain't stopping no more, okay? We ain't stopping no more until." So, I don't know what's the explanation of all of that or whatever, but I do believe that we can tap into different realms. I do believe that, depending on like.
It sound like y'all tapped into like a different time frame.
Yeah, something.
Just mentioned like of when it was once thriving and booming, and y'all had a visual and was able to see what it looked like.
And it was both of us. So it's not like I experienced this by myself. Like it's two. Like she would sit here and tell you the same exact story. So one probably would say that I have mental health issues because I remember telling this story to somebody, and somebody told me, maybe they were filler people. Sometimes the brain does that and now this is psychology talk. Mm-hmm. They were filler people. It's not no damn filler people.
So y'all both had filler people.
I guess we both had filler people. So so that's my story as far as like the supernatural and the mental health or whatever. So one would probably say that I was crazy. But it happened. So okay, so the last one is psychological, right? It's gonna kind of lean us into psychological, like mental people that's that hallucinate or talk to themselves rather. Or people, do you talk to yourself?
I think.
You think? You talk to yourself? You talk to yourself, Jay, now?
In my head, yeah.
You do? You do? You don't talk to yourself out loud?
Yeah, I just don't answer myself.
You don't answer yourself? Why? Why wouldn't you answer yourself?
I think I answer inside my head.
Yeah.
I don't
So
answer
you
out
talk to
loud.
yourself and answer?
Yeah, I'll be like, should I do this?
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
I think to myself,
Just have a conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because so you see people talking to themselves and answering themselves out loud, you think they crazy, right?
Well, you know what? The animation part, when they be like, man, what you doing? Oh, no, man. Huh? No, I ain't do that, bro. What? Okay, come on in. You know, that you know what I'm saying? Like,
So this is going to kind of bring us into the fun fact, right? I have this book that I was reading called The Untethered Soul, right?
Mhm.
And it's written by Michael A. Singer. Really, really, really good book. And he was explaining about this part of it, like as far as like mental health and stuff. And he was talking about what the mind does, what the mind, like how it just goes, right? So, say for instance, you sitting on your couch, right? Your mother-in-law walks in, and she say, "Hey, J-No," or whatever she call you, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hey, what's up?" or whatever, and she kind of stand there, like she want you to, be invited into a conversation with you or whatever, but you just kind of like in one of those, you kind of in the funk this day, so you don't really talk or whatever. So when she walks off, and then now you like, dang, I hope she don't think I'm acting funny, man, but I'm kind of going through something right now, man. I couldn't really talk right now. This and that. Oh, well, she don't think I'm acting funny. Now she not gonna think that. Well, maybe she will. This and that. Maybe I should have said more. Maybe I shouldn't have said. This is things that goes on inside of the mind without you even knowing. And it's out of your control. Like it's like you have no control over the voices that's in the inside of your head, right? And they just going on and on and on. So basically, what Michael A. Singer was saying was, the difference between you and the person that's saying it out loud is, like you said, you saying it in your head and they saying it out loud, but it's really not a big of a difference. Like they're doing the same thing in the inside of their head that you doing in the inside of your head. They just outwardly projecting it. Would you agree with that?
So he trying to say that they not
That they're not crazy. They're doing everything that we're doing. We just not saying it. We're just not outwardly saying it. Because I would do that. I would overthink.
Yeah. I mean, I have a tendency to overthink too as well. But I don't know about them old animations though. I'm still stuck on the animated part though. I ain't animating myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of just in a chill space and just kind of just going back and forth with my thoughts. But
so you still think that's crazy? Like even with me saying that part?
I don't feel like I'm read enough to give my opinion on it. I don't feel like I've studied enough and tapped into it. That's a new concept to me. You know
That's a new concept.
That's a new concept. Very interesting one though.
Right.
Very interesting one though. I mean, I can see where it makes sense at the same time,
right,
opposed to just maybe the difference is the topics.
Right.
You know what I mean? That may be the differential point, and depending on whether somebody has a mental issue.
Right.
And insane.
Right.
Or whatever. So I think that may be the variation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now that I think about it more and more. But yeah, because if somebody's just throwing left field stuff here, there,
right,
right, incoherent.
Right.
Because that's what I see when I see somebody just out on the street. It's like the conversation piece is incoherent. You know what I mean? And I think that's a difference.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I would say. That's how I'm coming with it.
Yeah. Okay. I want to read something to y'all by an anonymous writer. Okay. It says, last night I woke up and caught you wandering around, standing over me, whispering doubts in my ear, telling me what I'm gonna do. You thought I was sleeping, but I caught you. Makes me think, how long have you been whispering in my ears and when I'm asleep? Unconscious and vulnerable, poisoning my perseverance and drowning my ambitions. Could that be why I have a hard time getting up? putting one foot in front of the other, while I'm always starting things and never finishing, constantly breaking promises to myself, feeling as though I'm lacking willpower when all alone, when I lay me down to sleep, you harboring my dreams, making them harder to reach. Can't even charge my body up and put my mind at ease without you draining the energy, as if someone is pulling the plug from the wall. And when I wake, I feel as if I was getting chased through a jungle, running for my life, only to wake up and have to continue running for my life. And then I run and run and run myself into the ground, but not from hard work and dedication, but from exhausted, from fighting myself with no restoration. I can't let you get away with this. This can no longer go on. You won't continue to disturb my peace because I deserve my sleep. I sat up and walked to the mirror and looked you in the eyes today, and I talked to you. No longer will you put a cap on my capabilities. I'm returning you to sender, waking up from my slumber because I peeped your agenda, and now I remember who I am. How y'all feel about that?
I love it.
What do you think this person is like? What is the mental state of this person? Like, what would you say?
Conflicts of the mind.
Conflicts of the mind.
Yeah, that's that mind working.
Yeah.
Even when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
That mind.
Yeah.
Some people can't shut it off.
Yeah.
And some people shut it off and never turn it back on.
Yeah, I would definitely say deep subconscious is showing how, even in the subconscious mind, how the subconscious mind can be programmed. Like you said, never shutting it off. It's things you can watch on TV. That's why they say don't watch like certain type of movies and stuff like that.
Right.
Like demonic movies or something like
I
that.
believe it. Yeah.
And you go lay down, and so you may not have thought about it right then and there. Your front of your mind, you're not thinking about that movie. You know what I mean? But then, why, like I said, the mind never shuts off. So while you sleep,
Right.
it may go right back to that.
Right.
And so now, whatever negative images, whatever was going on, you're getting that programming now.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how subliminal programming works. So now
Exactly.
you're getting programmed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, it just reminds me of an entity or something, just whispering in your ear and just kind of just, bringing you to that place.
Yeah.
So entertaining, being around people with negative energy and these entities, and it's following you home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now, even when you sleep, and you're starting to wonder why in your day-to-day life, your thought pattern is changing, your thought process is changing, because of these things are whispering in your ear.
Right. Right.
So
that makes sense. It definitely makes sense because the mind never rests. The spirit never rests. Like your body might get tired, your body needs sleep, but that spirit man is still going.
Right.
And then no telling where it's going.
Yeah, no telling where it's going. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, so if you don't mind, break it down for us. What do you see in that in the context of that writing?
Basically, I feel like it's a person that that has dreams, that has goals, and is dealing with procrastination.
They say it's a spirit too.
Yeah, dealing with procrastination. Something is like they feel shackled, and and they feel like it's in their own worst enemy.
Right.
They so if you don't say very nice things to yourself, it's kind of like you growing up in a household and you grew up in a loving household, right? Just for example, and then you go to school and you have a crush on a little girl, first time you feel it, and then she look at you and say, "You fat." That crushes you, right?
Right.
So you go home and you play this in your mind. You internalize it. So now this is this adds to the voices that's playing in your mind, right? So now you self-conscious because you feel fat. You go to the pool, you go to the beach with your family. You don't even want to take your shirt off at this point. Why you don't want to take your shirt off? You didn't have no problem last time. Like, what are you, he being weird. I'm fat. Who told you was fat? This person told you was fat. But then now, this is something that you internalize and you continue to tell yourself. And I think that throughout life, when you deal with different things, people say different things to you that's hurtful, and you internalize it in a certain way, then you start saying these things to yourself. So I think it's very important to watch how you internalize things and watch what you internalize, because everything is not healthy for you, and it hunts you like later on down the line. Kind of like what you expounded on in the last show when you were saying detoxifying yourself. So I think that's very important to do that as well.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the disconnect for me.
Yeah. You brought it right to the disconnect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's the disconnect for me. That's the disconnect. So yeah, but y'all, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. Check on your strong friends, man. Like people walking around, looking normal, talking normal, acting normal, deep down inside,
Got a lot going on.
cracking up, man. And this is how things happen. This is how people say, I didn't think he would do something like that, or I didn't think she would do something like that, man. You just really never know. You just really, really, really never know. And it be the strongest people that's trying to be there for everybody, trying to tie all the loose ends for everybody. Everybody leaning on them, everybody, calling them with all their problems and stuff like that. Nobody's asking this person, like, how are you doing?
Right.
What do you need? Like, what is your mental state? When is the last time you had a mental break? Away from everything. Because life is lifing.
Yeah.
Life is lifing for us all, and that can be stressful living in this matrix because it's unnatural. It's very unnatural, and yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now, I would just say the disconnect is that we need to, like as we stated in the beginning, move that pride and ego to the side.
Yeah.
Find somebody you can build with that that's giving you good sound advice.
Right.
A therapist, a counselor, or whoever. You know what I mean? Somebody strong, and that because we put that off and we think it's not needed, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a new age, it's a new time. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that came from the generations before us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now that we in the age of Aquarius and we get more knowledge, there's more books, there's more information that's accessible. Like, we need to utilize that.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm telling y'all, don't put your pride aside.
Yeah.
Put your ego aside.
Most definitely.
Put all that aside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you should be daily trying to think of how can I better myself?
Yeah.
How can I continually progress? How can I continually elevate
Yeah.
and get myself to the next level?
Yeah.
This is a you versus you battle.
Yeah.
This is all eternal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is you. You know what I mean? And you only. So you got to be the one to pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
And say, look, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the disconnect to me.
That's a disconnect. And I also want to add too, a lot of people would say when you ask them, why haven't you spoke to a professional? Why haven't you spoke to? A lot of people would say, they don't have my answers. They don't have my answers. No, they don't have your answers, but they have your questions, right? Yeah. They can teach you certain things. They have different cognitive methods. These people, they got people that really study the human mind, right? And how it works and why they do the things that they do and stuff like this. So, no, nobody has all of your answers, but they probably could help you reach within yourself to ask yourself the right questions. And when you get to asking yourself the right questions, then you can find your own answers. So you're right. Nobody has your answers, but you need to know what the right questions are. So,
most definitely.
yeah.
So you ready to?
Hey, we could wrap it up.
So we're gonna go ahead.
Unless you want to expound on.
Good.
You good? Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and bring this thing to hope. Make sure y'all checking out all the social media feeds, Facebook, YouTube, the Disconnect Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, the Disconnect Podcast _ Make sure y'all checking in, tapping in, follow, like, subscribe, share it. We're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep growing, y'all.
And leave us some comments. We
Yes.
interact with the people that's leaving comments. Like,
Right.
we want to interact with y'all. We want to, have that, be real personal with y'all. So,
Right. And so as we close this segment out, I'd like to play a video of my kinfolk, True Francisco. This song is completely about mental health and his story and his journey. So we'll close we're gonna close this episode out with a video. So as we so you can get that again, rehone and reiterate on that. Mental health is serious and it's real.
Is his song on Spotify? Or
Yes, it's on Spotify.
Okay.
It's on all streaming platforms.
Okay.
If y'all want to check it out. So so that's it, y'all.
Peace.
I'm living in stress, I'm out of my mind, not living the best. Let's say I'm depressed and I can't shake this feeling up in my chest. I'm so obsessed with this dream I keep having at night when I sleep that I cannot rest. What I envision is not the right vision, it's blowing my mind, I'm becoming upset. I really needed help, I know it's bad for my health. I feel all by myself, like I have nobody else. I cannot let these feelings take over. The makeovers coming is at full effect. But I can't forget the nightmare I'm having will make me do something that I will regret. I'm killing myself, I feel so alone. This feeling I get, I deal with on my own. What do you do when your loved ones is gone? I'm killing myself. Don't save me, I don't wanna be saved. Drowning and sinking, I see there's no way. Stuck in a box and it seems like a maze. Saving myself, but I think it's too late. Don't save me, I don't wanna be saved. Drowning and sinking, I see there's no way. Stuck in a box and it seems like a maze. Saving myself, but I think it's too late.